Okay, let's unpack this. 15 years. That's how long iPad users have waited for a proper native WhatsApp app.
15 years. It's kind of wild when you say it out loud.
It really is. It begs the question,
hmm
what took so darn long? And maybe more importantly, now that it's finally here, what can you actually do with it?
It's definitely a significant moment, yeah, for anyone who juggles an iPad and, lives on WhatsApp. We're diving into the launch of this dedicated iPad app today.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of sources to look at.
We do. Articles from the Indian Express, The Verge, the WhatsApp blog itself, GS Marina, India TV News, Fortune India, Mashable.
Oh, and that YouTube video too, from Atheist Case.
That's right, getting a real user's perspective. So it's a pretty full spectrum of angles on this long-anticipated release.
Absolutely. And for you listening in, our goal today, our mission, if you like, is to unravel this 15-year mystery. Why the massive wait? Then we'll explore exactly what this new app brings to the table, how it can, streamline your WhatsApp experience on an iPad, and ultimately, what it all means for your digital life. And helping us make sense of it all, we've got our expert here ready to add that crucial context and deeper analysis.
Happy to be here.
Personally, I'm just thrilled, really thrilled. Finally using WhatsApp properly on my iPad, saying goodbye to that clunky web thing. It's about time.
Oh, I bet that sentiment is widely shared. The web version, well, it worked, kinda, but it always felt like a workaround, didn't it?
Totally. A compromise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's tackle that elephant in the room, the 15-year gap. WhatsApp hit the App Store back in 2009.
Right.
The iPad showed up a year later, 2010. Then Meta bought WhatsApp in 2014. And yet, here we are, May 2025, just now seeing a dedicated iPad app.
It really makes you scratch your head. I mean, what could possibly have caused such a delay? Did Meta ever actually say why?
No, not really. No formal explanation from Meta ever surfaced. But, our sources offer some pretty compelling theories. Well, Fortune India brings up the possibility that early on, Apple might have had certain restrictions, maybe around telephony apps offering call-like features.
Okay. So that might have been an early hurdle.
Could have been. And they also highlight WhatsApp's original design, its architecture. It was initially very, very tightly bound to a single mobile device, a single phone number.
Right. I remember that. Trying to use it elsewhere was always a pain.
Precisely. And this is where that multi-device sync feature, the one rolled out in 2021, becomes so important. Fortune India really emphasizes this.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Well, from a technical standpoint, figuring out how to seamlessly sync messages, calls, everything across multiple devices while keeping that crucial end-to-end encryption, that was a huge challenge.
I can imagine. Encryption adds complexity.
Absolutely. Just as a quick reminder for everyone, end-to-end encryption means only you and the recipient can read the messages. It's fundamental to WhatsApp. So getting that to work securely across, say, your phone and an iPad required significant engineering. Developing that multi-device feature likely built the foundation needed for a proper iPad app.
Huh. So that multi-device update wasn't just a nice-to-have feature. It was actually, necessary groundwork for this iPad app. That's interesting.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the articles definitely mention the user frustration. I mean, I've felt it.
Yeah.
Using WhatsApp web on an iPad just felt clunky, limited.
Totally. And the limitations weren't just missing features, right? The web version often felt slow, laggy, wasn't really optimized for touch. It just didn't feel native to the iPad.
Yeah, exactly.
Mashable and Fortune India point out that iPad users have been asking, practically begging, for a native app for years. And the Indian Express gets specific mention, and you couldn't easily use the iPad's cameras, front or rear, for photos within the app, or have proper full-featured video calls. It just wasn't a good fit.
Okay, so the wait is finally over. The app is here. What can you actually do with it? Is it just a bigger iPhone app, or does it really use the iPad's strengths?
Well, in terms of the basic stuff, yeah, it closely mirrors the iPhone app. That's what multiple sources are saying. You've got your text messages, voice messages.
Calls?
Yep, audio and video calls, up to 32 people. Even screen sharing during calls. And yes, like on your phone, you can switch between the front and rear cameras during video calls.
Yeah.
That's confirmed by the Indian Express and others.
Okay, covers the core experience. But what about taking advantage of the iPad itself? The bigger screen? The multitasking?
No, this is where it gets really interesting. All the sources are highlighting the deep integration with iPadOS multitasking. We're talking Stage Manager.
Right, the windowing thing on the newer iPads.
Exactly. Stage Manager lets you have multiple app windows open, resize them, switch easily. It's available on the M-series chip iPads, basically.
Right.
Pro models from 3rd Gen 12.9-inch or first-gen 11-inch onwards, and the Air from the 5th-gen onwards, including the new M2 Airs. The WhatsApp blog lists them out. And then you've got split view, two apps side by side, and slide over where you have a smaller app floating over the main one, all fully supported.
So for someone maybe not using those features daily, how does that actually improve using WhatsApp on an iPad?
Well, think about it. With Split View, you could have your WhatsApp chat open right next to, say, your Notes app or Safari.
Ah, okay. So you could be chatting about plans and looking up info at the same time.
Precisely. Or discussing a project and taking notes without constantly flipping back and forth. It's a huge productivity boost compared to just having one app fill the screen on your phone.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Stage Manager takes it even further. You can arrange multiple overlapping windows, almost like a desktop. Imagine researching a link someone sent you in WhatsApp while drafting a reply and maybe referencing a document in another window all at once.
Okay, that sounds genuinely useful, especially for work or study, or even just planning a complicated trip with friends. What about hardware? Keyboards, the pencil?
Yep, good support there too. Multiple sources mention the Magic Keyboard. Obviously, that's going to make typing longer messages way easier, more comfortable.
Excellent.
And the Apple Pencil is also supported. Now, the sources don't go into super detail on exactly how you'd use it within WhatsApp.
Maybe for drawing or annotating shared stuff.
That's the likely scenario, yeah. Enhancing interaction, maybe marking up images or documents someone sends.
Cool. Okay, so multitasking, accessories. What about keeping things in sync? If I use WhatsApp on my iPhone, maybe my Mac, and now the iPad.
That's a core feature. Seamless syncing. The WhatsApp blog and India TV News really emphasize this. The multi-device tech ensures everything, messages, calls, media stays perfectly synced and, crucially, still protected by that end-to-end encryption across all linked devices.
So it's secure everywhere.
That's the promise. And maintaining that security across devices, making sure the encryption keys are handled correctly everywhere, well, that's part of the complexity we talked about earlier, but it ensures privacy and consistency.
Privacy is always a big one. Any specific privacy features in the iPad app itself?
There are. The WhatsApp blog and GS Marina both highlight the chat lock feature.
Oh yeah, I use that on my phone.
Right, so you can add an extra layer of security to specific chats, need Face ID or your passcode to open them, even if the iPad itself is already unlocked.
That's actually really useful on an iPad, especially if it's shared in a family.
Exactly. Great for shared devices.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I'm really curious about the actual day-to-day user experience. You mentioned that YouTube video. What did Matthias Kais find?
Yeah, his video is great for that first-hand look. He walks through getting it set up, said it was easy to find in the App Store. Just search WhatsApp. Simple enough. And the linking process. Pretty much identical to WhatsApp, web, or desktop.
Scan the QR code from your phone.
Yep, exactly. Go to linked devices on your phone, point it at the QR code on the iPad screen, and boom, you're in.
Any problem setting it up? Any glitches?
He mentioned one tiny, momentary hiccup right at the start. The app briefly said it wasn't supported, which was weird because his iPadOS was up to date.
Oh.
But he just tapped continue anyway, and apparently the issue just vanished immediately. After that, he said the syncing was flawless, connection totally stable.
Okay, good. So not a real roadblock. What about using it? Does it matter if your main phone is iPhone or Android?
No. He confirmed it works independently. You can link from either an iPhone or an Android phone, which is great flexibility. And your phone doesn't need to be online constantly after that initial link.
Like WhatsApp Web, then?
Pretty much, though also like web, the connection on the iPad might eventually expire if you don't use it for a while. He estimated maybe around 15 days, a similar time frame.
Okay. And the features? Did everything work? Calls, messages?
He tested all the core stuff. Regular messaging, voice messages, voice calls, video calls, all worked perfectly. He could even get calls coming through on both his phone and iPad at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, and video message recording worked fine on the iPad too.
Sounds like a really solid feature set then, right from launch. How does it look on the bigger screen? Does it adapt well?
Yeah, he showed that it adapts really nicely to both landscape and portrait orientations. Seems comfortable either way you hold or use the iPad.
Any downsides he noticed? Anything missing?
The only potential thing he flagged, and he wasn't totally sure because he doesn't use them much, was broadcast lists. He thought they might not be fully functional right at launch, so something to keep an eye on if you rely heavily on broadcasts.
Okay, a minor potential caveat. But overall, sounds like a pretty polished first version.
Seems that way. And compatibility-wise, he confirmed it needs iPadOS 15.1 or later. So most iPads people are using should be able to run it just fine.
Great. So let's zoom out a bit. What does this launch mean strategically? Why now from a market point of view?
Well, Fortune India really hits on this. The iPad is, a huge seller, a dominant tablet. Apple's got a massive market share, like 32% in late 2024, shipping over 48 million units in 2023 alone.
That's a lot of iPads.
It's a massive user base. And increasingly, people use iPads for serious work, for productivity, not just watching videos. They expect good native apps for their key tools.
Yeah, the expectation for tablet-optimized apps is definitely there now.
Exactly. So by finally delivering a proper, feature-rich app, WhatsApp can seriously boost user engagement, keep people locked into their ecosystem, what Fortune calls stickiness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even more important as WhatsApp pushes into other areas, right? Like payments, business messaging, commerce features they're rolling out. A good iPad app just makes all of that smoother and more accessible.
Makes sense. If it's easy to use on your iPad, you're more likely to use it for more things. What about specific regions?
India comes up a lot. Both the Indian Express and Fortune India point out it's WhatsApp's biggest market globally. Huge numbers, maybe around 535.8 million users there.
Wow.
And there's a rapidly growing number of Apple users in India's students, business folks. For them, this native iPad app isn't just nice, it's a really significant upgrade they've been waiting for.
I can only imagine the demand there. And how does this position WhatsApp against rivals, like Telegram?
Right. Fortune India mentions that competitors like Telegram have had tablet apps for years. So in that sense, WhatsApp was definitely lagging behind.
Playing catch-up.
Yeah. But WhatsApp's sheer scale, billions of users worldwide, that's a massive advantage. Now that they have a fully functional, encrypted, syncing iPad app, they're a much better place to be that central communication hub across all of Apple's devices: iPhone, iPad, Mac.
So it's not just about ticking a box after 15 years. It's a strategic move to really embed WhatsApp deeper into how people use their Apple gear.
Precisely. It's about shifting WhatsApp from being just a phone app to being a communication layer that works seamlessly wherever you are, whatever device you're using.
Well, this has been a really great deep dive.
Yeah.
Super insightful. So to quickly recap, after a super long wait, WhatsApp is finally truly native on the iPad. It brings better multitasking, works great with keyboards and the pencil, and syncs smoothly and securely with your other devices.
And while we might never know the exact reason for the 15-year delay, its arrival definitely fills a major gap people have felt for a long time.
And for you, the learner, this really means you can finally use WhatsApp on your iPad the way it was probably always meant to be used. Ditch the browser workaround, use the big screen, multitask properly. It should be a much better, more productive experience.
Absolutely. A smoother flow for communication.
Couldn't agree more. So what does this all mean for you? Honestly, if you're an iPad user and a WhatsApp user, this is just a straight-up game changer. Go download it, give it a try, see how it feels. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here, stepping back, is how this launch, even though it seems simple on the surface, reflects these bigger shifts in, platform strategy and what we all expect now in this multi-device world we live in. It does make you wonder what other long-awaited integrations might be next.
Ooh, good question to ponder. Anyway, thanks so much for diving deep with us today. We really hope this breakdown has been helpful and informative for you.
Hope so, too.
And hey, if you enjoyed this analysis and want to keep up with the latest tech news and insights, you know the drill. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, maybe leave us a like, and definitely hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive.
We'll be back soon with another in-depth look at the tech topics that matter to you. Until then, take care, everyone.
See you next time.